Welcome back. My name is Clem from Ask Clem Today. And today I'm going to show you how to make a concrete bench look like wood, part 6. In this video, I'm going to show you how to stain the concrete to make it look like wood, a little faux effect, and then seal it. And hopefully you enjoy the video. And if you do, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and share with your friends. Thank you. I'm going to show you, we're going to be staining now the legs. So I already did one. So you see it's got a little bit of black and different colors, a little bit of gray, just to kind of emphasize, you can see it right there, some of the colors of the woods that are around my neighborhood. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. Eco Stain by Surecrete. You can see it there, by Surecrete. This is Eco Stain, and I'm going to be using multiple colors. It's already diluted. You can dilute it more if you like, but I'm not diluting. I'm going straight, and I'm using a 3-inch brush. So what I'm going to do is, this is how I like to handle it. And so this one that I'm using here, it's called Beech Nut. So I'm going to put beech nut throughout, and make sure you stir it, and just lightly hit it. And you can go thick in some areas, skip some areas, because you want some highlights. So I'm not covering every single thing like I do with paint, but I am going to just put it throughout and to have some type of coverage. So you see I kind of like block this one here, so then I'll just kind of hit that one up there. I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. So it looks like there's nothing here, but once the sealer hits it, it'll just pop. I'm going to go with Kodiak. Kodiak and Kayak is one of my favorite colors. You can do so much with it. So I already stirred the bottom. So Kodiak is some type of brownish color. So now I want to not hit every spot that I hit with the beech nut. I do multiple colors. So you want to leave some colors non-stained so you can hit it with the darker colors. Make sure you get into the grooves. You can do the top with this color too. Not that anybody's going to see it. For my next color, it's called Domino, which is a black. So we're just going to do some highlights. So I don't want to dip the whole thing in. So just kind of like hit it with a little bit of dots. You don't want to go too far before you hit it again, and see if you can start blending it. Alright, so I got a few areas. Let me go over here, add some more. I'm just trying to get some off my brush. And now I'm going to hit it a little bit hard, back and forth. Just back and forth. Just back and forth. I don't want to leave a clump of black in there because it just won't look so natural. So I hit this back and forth. Back and forth. So now it kind of blends in. It's just almost like you're aging it. This area right here, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of black just in this one area. It almost looks like a knot. Then I'll leave it set. Now, my next color, it's going to be Kayak. The other one was cold yet. So I'm stirring it. So I'm stirring the kayak just because the settlements, the pigment settles in the bottom, so I want to stir it to make sure I get some pigments in there. Now check this out. It's a little bit darker color and brown. So make sure I get those lighter areas that I missed earlier. Lightly hit the darker areas, because then what happens, the colors will blend right through. And guys, there's no set ways, just have fun with it. Have fun, experiment, and you come up with your own formulation, but at least you got a rough idea and what to do. And that's what's so cool, that there's no wrong way. And you can see that after so many layers, it starts shaping up. So you should never put just one coat of stain. Always do multiple layers. Because see, there are different techniques that I've been trained. One of my best one is a dot matrix painting, because we see in dots. But sometimes, because of time, you may decide just to brush it on. But the pigment dot method of staining is the way to go. It looks so much more natural. So this is pewter, gray color. Just gonna tap just a little bit, because I've been looking at the trees in my neighborhood, and you see some like lots of grays in certain areas, so it's not all gray, so you got different colors. So what I'm going to do is just lightly hit it like this, kind of give it some highlights. Then I'm going to come back and just kind of brush some in. Makes it look like it's been around for a while. All right, so now we just kind of look and see. Stand back a little bit and see what you think. Now, if it's too much of one color, then I can come back perhaps with kayak, mix it a little bit, and just kind of lightly hit it. And if you feel you did too much, then this is all you gotta do, just lightly hit it. So you can blend those colors so it doesn't look. So anyways, just to kind of let you know, what I did before was I went ahead and washed it with some SCR, which is almost like acid, but it's safer and it smells nicer, like peppermint. And you just mix it with water, 2 to 1, and then put it on there, rinse it off with water, and you're good to go. And so gets all the crud all cleaned up, and then you're really good to stain anything. So here we have the 3 done. So we got that one and that one. All right, hope you enjoyed that part. So now we're going to go ahead and stain the wood. The wood have several knots. I'm going to do this. It has several knots that I want to make sure that I highlight. It's got a few over here. So I'm going to put the camera here. And then we're going to hit this one with a totally different color, much darker color, because we want this kind of stand out. Either we can do a very light color on here, dark here, so make a difference between the two. So we're going to go with some Spanish red, with some Kodiak espresso and kayak, and a little bit of black domino in order to give it a wing. So this area, the knots, I definitely want to put some reds in order to stand out. So dip it I don't want to dip too much in it. And then just kind of follow the line and then fade it out. And before that dries, I want to hit it. So anywhere where there's a knot, and just kind of hit it. You can use a 1-inch chip brush too if you like. I'm trying to use the edge of this thing. Alright. So Kodiak, and notice I'm using the same brush. Use the same brush. Just lightly hit it, skip some areas. You can go over. So because this concrete, it's going to suck up all that stain. So you always want to go with the lightest color first. And notice that I'm not doing every single spot. So now I'm kind of hitting a little bit the area that we put that Spanish red, to kind of blend it. Okay. So as we can see, there's some spots that are missing and all that. So now we're going to go with Kayak. And Kayak, some areas I'm just going to let it puddle. See, like this would be cool. Put some like that. So it's starting to take shape. It starts looking like an all-weathered wood. Boom. So that was Kayak. So I'm going to come back with Espresso. That's Espresso is a little bit darker. Just going to let it settle a little bit. I may want to add a little bit more of this red. Let me do that. Just add a little bit of red because I definitely want this guy to stand out. So remember, when the knots, it's got that curve and then it thins out to a point. So it's kind of dried a little bit. It looks like wood. So now we're going to go ahead and get some Espresso, which Espresso, I have to say, it's #1 out of my favorites. Then you got Kayak and Kodiak. Alright, Espresso's a little darker, but you can go in light. That's alright. So let's go here. So the areas where a little bit of line. So I'm going to go real light. Real light. Make sure we get in deep. And now notice I'm turning my blade this way instead of this way to get to some specific areas. So whenever I dunk in here, I always want to go flat but light. Right? Flat and light. But if I want to get in deep, then I turn my blade over so I can get in deep and be more specific. So So it's okay if I leave a little bit of white spots. We'll fill that in probably with some black domino. So I'm just trying to go light. So notice around the edge, I turn my blade. So I can just get that edge. So you don't want to see where we stopped when you're staining. That's why you want to blend it. Blend it. See, looks pretty cool already. Alright, so now I want to introduce some black. Just mix it a little bit. Again, you don't want to dip the whole thing, just a little tip, and just kind of like spots here and there. So Kodiak is a little bit lighter. So now I want to make sure that I hit some of those spots that look spotty. I don't want to see the white spot as much. It's okay to have some, but not as much. I want to get a little bit of black. There's some little kind of like, almost looks like it's been, somebody bust into it. So I'm going to highlight that, emphasize these little divots. Even put a little black on these knots. Remember, we had some red. I'm going to come back with some red in here. A little smaller brush so I can be more specific here. So you don't want to wipe out everything. You want to leave some puddles. Those puddles will be pretty cool. Put a little bit of black in some of these grooves. So when you look at some weathered wood, sometimes you see chunks pull out of it. So when you do concrete or woodcrete, you want to do the same thing. Get some chunks. It's almost, you feel bad because it looks so cool, but then all of a sudden you feel like you actually have to kind of damage it to make it look better. So I'm going to add a little bit more color here. I'm going to go with the kayak. Don't want to cover that whole thing. You know what? I think I'm going to go with beach now. I want this lighter. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit this guy here with multicolors. Kodiak. Just going to stir it. I don't want to hit every single spot. I hit it with kayak. Let's see if we can add just a little bit of red. We'll just come back with some Kodiak. So this looks like the edge of the bark. That's why we wanted that a light color. I'm going to try to get it even lighter. But on the top, as you can see what I have here. So now I'm playing with the pigments. That's how you can move the pigments around. Go. So now what I'm going to do is add some more yellow, more of the what is it, beech nut on the edges, and then on the ends I'm just going to do espresso. So after we seal it, it'll look different. Okay guys, so now it's painted. I just put a seal coat on there. I put a solvent base sealer. This one here, it's a Cure and Seal 30 and it's solvent base. You can dilute it with this guy with xylene, and you can probably do 20% and for your first coat. Now even though this one says glossy, we can take a sandpaper after it's sealed to take the glossiness off of it, unless you want it like that. So pretty much I got a roller like this, and then what we're gonna do is just go ahead and seal. Now sometimes this roller leaves a little bit of a hair, so you just gotta pick it off. And you see how it darkens the wood? I'm sorry, the concrete? Look, even that I call it wood. All right, I'll show you once I'm done.